Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Bonkekook here, aka your Lonely Achievement God. Continuing our From 0 to 1000 achievement hunting series for Lawn Mowing Simulator. I do apologize for how the last video ended. Was not expecting an update to happen. And I'm just going to leave that in. I'm not going to bother going back and editing that out for what it's worth. I think it's funny. We were going through all the secret achievements and the achievement list before we finished. I think I got through most of it. We were covering some of the random secret achievements. Not too much to worry about right now. We don't have a whole lot of money to be doing anything at the moment. So what we're going to be doing is just continuing on in our weekly or daily contracts here. I recommend, again, having your employee handle the longer contracts. If you see a contract like this pop up and you know that you're going to be getting a good amount of money that week, feel free to check your employee and see if any of the other trainings will level them up enough. They won't. So we're not going to worry about it. We don't want to spend too much of our money on that. We kind of, at this point, the training is very minimal for a reward, and it's very expensive. So what we kind of want to focus on is trying to get advertisements for our RP ranks once we get rolling here. But for now, choosing the most expensive contract, for your employee to handle, and we're going to go ahead and take care of this one, and I will rejoin you when we're done. Oh, there we go. Welcome back, guys and girls. Again, just under 18 minutes or so to complete the contract, not including the ground check, of course. And getting our trainee up is getting us more money from these more lucrative contracts, which is good. And we're going to train our employee in the final vehicular maintenance training. It will use up the majority of the money we have left. But our goal right now is to make sure that our trainee is getting us the most money when we have them doing contracts, and it will eventually pay off for us, so it's worth the investment. And from here on out, we're going to just be doing these whenever we have any little amount of money available. These aren't as important. We're kind of in the home stretch here. The specialist is the penultimate level of experience before you get to expert. So, there's not a whole lot for us to do from this point as far as training. We still have another 30 days or so before we reach the 40-day threshold where we could potentially get that achievement for building an apprentice up to an expert. So the training is kind of secondary now. From this point on, you're going to be working on building up money to purchase printed media advertisements. And those are going to give you 105 RP per day. You can have 3 running at a time, which means you can be getting 315 extra RP per day. And that will make a bit of a difference for the further on into the game we go. But for now, again, look for the contracts and send your employee off to do the more difficult one. We're going to go ahead and do this one again. And I will rejoin you once again when we're done. And we're back again, folks. Another contract complete. This one a little bit faster. 17.5 minutes or so. We're beating our high score. It's kind of what you have to do, especially if you start playing through this for the 7th or 8th time, to break up some of the monotony of doing the same paths on the same lawns over and over again. I've started doing them in different ways. just to keep myself engaged. Like I said, I love this game, but I've probably put 300 to 400 hours into it by now. And there's only 30 levels to do, so it kind of gets old really quick, especially if you're doing the same contracts over and over again. And there we are. We've reached the established rank. Another achievement down. What we're going to do now is we're going to go grab our first $25,000 loan. So go ahead and do that. We're going to go over to the headquarters, tab Purchase HQ, and we're going to purchase the Windsor garages. That'll get you the worked your grass off for purchasing the third company headquarters. Don't worry, I know. Now purchase the Whitehall house. That'll get you the first step on the ladder achievement for purchasing the second HQ. And the Hard Times achievement for downgrading your headquarters. Now go back in and purchase Windsor garages again. And now we're heading back to the loan tab, ladies and gentlemen. Go back over there, and we're purchasing 2 more $25,000 loans. Go to your garage. We're going to go to the Night OFS 1. We're going to part exchange, and we are going all the way to the right, ladies and gents. We're going to purchase the Toro Groundsmaster 3300, and mowing is no longer going to be an inconvenience. We're going to have the best mower in the game, and that will unlock the Lawn in the USA achievement for purchasing an American-made mower. You can also get that by purchasing a Skag mower, but for obviously, if you're following along with me, you'll be getting that. Now, we go back into the shop, and we're going to go to the Skag Patriot 52. We need to purchase this. And now we need to go to the Toro. Hit A, go to Attachments, Shop, and purchase a 60-inch recycler kit. Hit B and select the recycler kit, and hit A. You'll know you've equipped it when it says 0 available, and now you're good. Back out, go to the Skag Patriot 52 and do the same thing. Go to Attachments, go to Shop. We're going to purchase both of these. So hit A and purchase both the mulch plate and the tiger stripe kit, and then hit B and hit A on both of them so it says 0 available. This will allow us to do stripe contracts whenever those happen to show up. Now we need to go and try to hire a third employee. Hire the most experienced employee you can find. So in this case, we're going to hire Michael Barber here. What I recommend doing is rejecting the other 4 applicants here, because you can only have 5 applications at a time, and we are now going to be trying to get some more advanced employees. If expert employees ever show up, hire them. They are the top of the tier, so they are the best for getting your money back from having them work on projects. Once you have well, let's just recap. We now have a headquarters that can hold 6 mowers, which is what we're going to need. Eventually, we will be able to have 5 or 4 other employees and ourselves, so we'll need at least 5 vehicles. So we have a headquarters that can handle that. We have 2 other employees. We have our specialist, which we're actually going to go in here and train in the first advanced driving level. Feel free to take care of that. We also have a professional. We are not going to be training the professional. we're just going to let them gain experience on their own. Eventually, we will be replacing the professional with an expert, but for now, we're going to be taking advantage of the professional experience level, because getting an expert at this point is rather rare. In our garage, we have 3 separate mowers for contracts, and we have 3 employees, so we have enough mowers to cut all of the contracts. We also now have the choice of 5 other contracts. So now you have just another one to look out for, and you'll have some new contracts showing up as well. So what do we have now? We're going to have our highest level employee tackle which will be our specialist here. We're going to have our specialist tackle the orchard, excuse me. And we need to find the other highest contract for our second employee, and always have them do this Skag Patriot. Keep the Toro for yourself, and we're going to do the highest remaining contract. We're going to do this Garden at Orchard Cottage. And I'm going to show you the entirety of this contract just so you see how much of a difference the Toro makes. We got to run and do the ground check. Never forget to do the ground checks. And I do apologize if the video footage gets choppy at all. My PC doesn't seem to like running around the lawn for whatever reason. So before you hop on the mower, just in case you didn't get it the first time, there is a wallet on top of this vehicle back here. Feel free to grab it. But once you're ready, get on your mower and you're gonna just start everything up like you have been. However, this thing goes 10 miles per hour faster than our last mower, and we do have to get it down to 650 or lower, and we're good to go. We're gonna hit X and we're gonna start driving, and I'm not gonna be all that careful because the penalties for running into flowers aren't really worth worrying about. As you can see, you should probably be a little more careful than I am here. The owners are going to be very upset at how many flowers. Good news is, flowers only cost like $1 to replace, so. But we're 10% of the way through the contract in a minute. I can't even begin to, explain how much better this mower is than the night we've been using. And I love the night mower. As far as the starting mowers go, I think it's the best. It is the slowest mower, I think, but it's the easiest to tell what you're cutting, in my opinion. So that's why I recommend we start with it. I mean, you can get up to, I believe, 15 miles per hour, which the high speed on our night mower was only 4.4, I believe. Once you get that all taken care of, just return to whatever your path was. Of course, you're probably not doing the same contract that I am, but on the off chance you are, I just wanted to show this off because the mowing from this point on becomes significantly quicker if you're using the Toro. And if you're following along with me, there is literally no reason for you not to use the Toro. Even like some of the biggest contracts are only going to take you the amount of time it was taking us to do the beginning contracts because of how quickly you can mow in this. It's like driving a spaceship. So anyways, we're halfway through in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. If you were still doubting the abilities of the Toro mower, edging can be a little bit difficult. I actually tend to edge with the left side of the mower because of the right side is blocked when I'm in first person view, so I would keep that in mind. If you're really worried about that stuff, you will have to learn how to be more delicate for the expert challenges, but just for regular contracts like this, kind of try to line up the point on the left side with the edge of the lawn when I'm cutting. And that seems to do a pretty good job. And again, I'm destroying way too many flowers, but I'm not all that worried about it. Yes, I'm probably going to be like 20 bucks down in fines, but it's not a significant amount of money to be worried about. Sorry, I was being harassed by a fly, if you heard that. I can't wait till winter when all of the bugs die. Where I live, that's 6 to 7 months of the year, so hopefully soon, although for all the where I live, we usually get about 300 inches of snow, and for what's funny about that is you would think that means it starts in like October or November, and honestly, we usually don't get too much accumulation before Christmas. We occasionally get like a storm or two, but it doesn't stick until like January. It's kind of weird how that works, and then we get pounded. We routinely have nights of 6 to 8 inches. And that's not a dirty joke. So there's not a whole lot of lawn care that happens up my way because 300 inches of snow tends to murder lawns. And I'm not saying there aren't any people up here with good lawns, but it takes a lot of effort. There we go. 7 minutes. Ladies and gents, I think that contract took us between 20 and 25 the first time we did it. Okay, so I destroyed 33 flowers. But in the I got it back in the time bonus from just how quickly we did the project, so or contract. So there we go. We got 2224. We got an achievement for completing 3 contracts in a single day. That used to be the max amount of employees, so that's why it was the achievement. But now that we can eventually have 4 other employees, you will unlock that achievement whenever you get to 2. If you're wondering why that is an achievement, that is why. It used to be that you could only have 2 employees, but they upped it to 4. But as you can see, we had our specialist get over $2,000 from the Rowley Manor contract, and we had a professional handle the paddock at Old Nook Cottage. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to purchase an advertisement here. Our first one, we're going to purchase one over the next 3 days so that we have all of them working at the same time. Feel free to check your applicants. If you ever see an expert, go in and fire your professional or whatever other one you have, unless you have an expert, and replace them with an expert. It's a long shot. It's probably not going to happen. But if it does, hire an expert. You will get the most bang for your buck. Essentially, you'll get I believe it's 90% of a contract when you have an expert employee. So what you're going to do is keep purchasing the advertisements. They last for 20 days, so you only need to spend about, 3,700, I think, over 3 days. 3,750. Yeah. Over the course of 20 days to keep your RP up, and it is very much worth it to do so. And then you just need to keep up on training your employee. Since we have some money left over from the loans, that's what we're going to do. And Reggie has probably another 28 days or so before we get them to the expert level. So you're just going to run in here whenever you have some extra money, which is right now, honestly, and train them up to get them up to expert. Other than that, we're just going to do as we have been. We are going to take care of the garden at Hilltop House ourselves. Now that we have the Toro mower, the more elaborate contracts aren't really that big of a deal, and this one does have valuable on it. So we're going to grab that one ourselves and just make sure you're having your employees do the more lucrative other contracts. I am going to show you where the valuable is on this level, but then I will return to the silent mowing. So first things first, we're going to run around, check for any ground check objects. This is a very big lawn. I mean, not massive, but it is quite big. And again, I do apologize if there's any slowdown or anything like that. My PC does not like running around on the lawn. Back behind this lawn or patio furniture here, someone left a tablet sitting on the planter. Go ahead and pick that up, and we'll just continue running through the lawn for the objects. Now we're good. We're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and get started, ladies and gents. I will rejoin you when the contract is done. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We did the 50-minute or so estimated contract in, I think, like 12 minutes with our Toro motor. Yeah. Mowing is kind of a piece of cake once you get this bad boy. We got an extra $300 for finding the tablet. We made bank this week. And we're going to go purchase another advertisement bundle, and we're going to train our employee in the advanced driving level 3 class. And now we just have to find some more projects to do. So, I'm going to point out this contract here. There is an achievement, the Mighty Mowing Park Ranger, which I believe is secret. I don't think I mentioned that. It is for mowing a park contract. Now, park contracts can show up as litter contracts and as mowing contracts. In my experience, before the update, the litter contracts were far more prevalent. In fact, litter contracts were supposed to start showing up when you hit the established rank. I don't know that that's the case anymore. On my last run through the game, I actually got stripe cut contracts before I got litter contracts. I don't know if they changed the rarity, if they changed when they show up. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I can tell you that the last 1.5 runs through the game now, this will be my second run through since the update, I haven't been seeing nearly as many litter contracts as I did on my the pre-update runs. So I don't know if that is just a matter of luck on my part. God knows I'm an unlucky person, but for the sake of being transparent here, you're supposed to run into a litter contract already, and we haven't. However, these park areas, which are Weaver's Square and Ripley Park specifically, have the ability to show up as litter contracts or as mowing contracts. You'll know it's a litter contract because the value will be maybe $100, if that. So we see the Parkland Weaver's Square contract is here, and it is a $1,000 contract. That means it's a mower contract, and we're going to take care of that to get an achievement. The other thing I wanted to point out as we were going through here is if you go over to the garden at Millerbrook, you'll see that this contract is really expensive. It's a $1,000 contract. We were doing that contract repeatedly at the beginning of the game, and it was only like a $300 or $400 contract. The problem is, as you'll see in the upper left-hand corner, it's overgrown. The grass size is 35 to 40 centimeters. I highly recommend you send a employee out to handle this one, because it will be very annoying for you. However, if you want to attempt it, it is a good way to practice managing your engine overloads, which is something you're going to need to learn to do for your expert challenges at the end of the game. So feel free to take it yourself, but if you want to avoid the frustration right now, have your employees handle it. And we're going to have our other employee handle the paddock here. And we're going to jump in, and I'll rejoin you when we're done. And I'm done. I'm just kidding. I need to show you the valuable on this level. I'm a dum-dum. So if you start from the starting point back there, run all the way across to the gate, there's a dog waste bin on the right here with a pair of sunglasses on top. Once you're done with that, then we'll go through the litter or ground check phase, but once again, I'll rejoin you when we're done. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once you finish the Weaver's Square Parkland contract, head back to the post-contract screen and skip forward. The Mighty Mowing Park Ranger achievement will unlock for you. We'll just skip ahead here. We're going to purchase one more advertisement, and we'll be done for about 18 days here. Won't have to worry about that for a while. We're also going to head back and continue training our employee. We don't have very much money left to pour into either of them now for the time being. As always, double check your employees. If you get an employee with a higher specialization that comes through, we have a professional hired, but we can hire a specialist. We're going to go ahead and do that. That way we'll get a higher cut of the contracts. always worth doing that. And again, if an expert were to show up, we would replace Robin with an expert should that ever happen. But because we are training our specialist up, we actually spend less in wages because we've been training them as opposed to hiring them. Not sure why that makes a difference. Seems a little rude. If I was the employee, I would want to make the same as a specialist that I'm hiring in, but hey, we're corporate America, am I right? Anyways, always keep up on your mowers. We still got decent amount of health and life in our mowers there, and so we'll just continue back over to here. The orchard at the Adams Apple Company does have a valuable. However, this contract is going to be a more extensive one, so I recommend taking it with a grain of salt if you want to. You can just jump in and end the contract if you want to skip ahead. This is probably going to be a 30 to 40 minute contract, one of the longer ones you'll ever have to do. Just pick the other two contracts. Actually, we have to do a little maneuvering with our mowers there. And we're going to go ahead and jump in, and once again, I will rejoin you. Oh, sorry, never mind. Got to show you the valuable. Caught myself this time. Valuable is quick and easy. On the right here, there's some headphones hanging on the side wall of this little bench enclosure. And now you're good to go. You can go ahead and finish the contract. When you do, and I do, I will rejoin you. So something I did want to jump in and say, there's these little stalks here. I don't know if they're just considered weeds or what. Running into them does not damage you or harm you at all. You don't get penalized for killing them. So you don't have to worry about it. You do have to worry about how high the grass is on this contract, unfortunately. This contract is one of the biggest pains, in my opinion. It's probably the most difficult contract in the game as we back up and fly into the sky. I was kind of hoping to get another stock to show up here, but looks like we might be out of luck. But anyways, the stock that I showed you to start, those are completely mowable. You don't have to worry about getting into trouble for running over them or being delicate around them. Okay, I will rejoin you when we're done. Welcome back, ladies and... Sorry about that. Welcome back, ladies and gents. You can see it took us about 26 minutes to do the lawn. Not too bad, but you do have to go relatively slow or cut a lot less grass in one pass than you normally would, because the grass is overgrown too much for you to go at full speed, even with your souped up Toro motor. But as you can see, we got a crap ton of money. That is the lawn mowing technical term. We also got $50 for the headphones we found. We have all of the magazine ads that we need, and we're gonna just make sure we don't have a expert coming in to hire. We're gonna go into Reggie Austin, our apprentice, and as you can see, when we do this final bit of training here, we still have that last 10%, 10 to 15% of the bar remaining that they have to get to the expert level by doing contracts. And that's why it takes about 40 days of employment, as long as you're using them every day, to get to an expert. They earn a base level of experience, I believe, from each contract, and they just need to do 30 or so contracts before they can earn enough experience with the training to become an expert. So, we're going to stop the video here. That'll be the end of part 3 of our From 0 to 1000 achievement walkthrough for Lawn Mowing Simulator. If you have any questions or comments for me, as always, let me know down below, and I will do my best to answer them. But if not, I will see you guys next time.